to appear in the southwest, and then those showers, even some thunderstorms around the English Channel coast, they'll develop quite widely across England and Wales during Saturday night. Hit and miss, as is often the case, but there could be some really quite heavy rain associated with these, again, especially towards the south coast. That'll keep things mild overnight, but a fresher feel for Scotland and Northern Ireland, where it's mostly a sunny start to Sunday, and we keep the sunny spells in the far north throughout the day. Otherwise, cloud and showers drifts north across northern England into southern Scotland during the day. Further sunshine to come later for parts of the south, and 23-24 Celsius still possible. Monday, further rain or showers in places. Tuesday looks warm.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's serious news, entertainment, or your own news from all over our great nation, we're here to kick off your day with a smile.
And the national media should be reflecting and reporting what's happening here.
You will notice the northwestern accents.
Whether you're with us on TV, radio, or online, every morning it's breakfast from 6 a.m. Hope you can join us.
On radio, they call it the drive time slot, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. as listeners head home. It's that part of the schedule when the dust of the day's events begin to clarify, and we try to make sense of it for you. Brazier is drive time for radio and TV. It's fast, it's punchy, it's opinionated, there's a Brazier angle and a little bit of levity.
That's the question.
That's two questions, actually. That's Brazier, Monday to Thursday, 4 till 6 on GB News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debates, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr.
I'm Dan Wootton. Join me Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 for the feistiest and most fun news debate on TV, where free speech reigns. I'll bring you a sharp take on the day's biggest stories, bombshell newsmaker interviews, and A-list guests. And I guarantee you, no spin, no bias, no censorship, and no reason to go to bed. That's Dan Wootton tonight, Monday to Thursdays from 9 on GB News.
We are GB News.
We're right across this great nation.
On TV, on radio, on digital.
Absolutely everywhere.
We don't talk down to you.
We embrace all voices.
With honest and civilised conversation.
We're not part of the establishment.
We're one of you.
And we're only getting started.
Join us on GB News,
the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
Good evening, everybody. It's Friday, it's 7 o'clock, and no, it's not Cracker Jack. It's much, much better than that. This, of course, is the one and only Friday Night Feast. Let's have it. Yes, your weekend starts here. Get yourself a drink, grab a handful of nuts, if that's your thing, and, of course, let us just take care of the next 2 hours for you, OK? We've got some great guests, we've got some lively debate, and more than a few laughs along the way. So, there's Challenge Christys. It's my favourite bit of the week, actually, really. Find out what I got up to at Lakeside Shopping Centre in Essex. Bear in mind there was a stabbing there recently. That was nothing to do with me. Also, we'll try to rehome a dog in our ever-popular feature, Dog of the Week. Yes, you can hear maybe just around the corner our newsreader there getting very excited about this particular dog. This week we're looking to find Aurora a forever home. And can I just say that if you're listening to us on radio, she's absolutely flipping gorgeous. Anyway, we'll also discuss the fallout from the Wagatha Christie trial involving Colleen Rooney and Rebecca Vardy. And I'm delighted to say that a genuine 24-carat comedy legend is with us tonight in the studio. Apart from the fact that he actually isn't. Find out who this is in a few minutes. I'll just tell you, Basically, I've been stood up by Bobby Davro. So I'm supposed to have Bobby Davro. He's not here yet. Apparently, he's here in a minute or two. But, you know, we'll give him a hero's welcome when he arrives. But there we go. Anyway, first, it's time for the headlines with the wonderful Polly Middlehurst.
Patrick, thank you. The top stories tonight. The Stormont Assembly in Northern Ireland has failed to elect a new speaker today. That comes after the Democratic Unionist Party decided not to support the process as part of its protest against the Northern Ireland Protocol. The DUP warned the Northern Ireland Protocol puts the peace at risk in the country. But the Sinn Féin leader of Stormont, Michelle O'Neill, said the move punished the electorate and she believes the public deserves better.
Not tomorrow, and not for a moment longer, can the DUP deny democracy, punish the public and boycott this Assembly and Executive and prevent us from putting money into people's pockets. Every party in this chamber told the electorate that they would turn up on day one. Well, the DUP have failed on day one.
Well, in other news today, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe's husband says the Prime Minister didn't exactly apologise for how her detention in Iran had been handled by the British government. The former British aid worker, who was held captive for 6 years, met Boris Johnson today for the first time since she returned to the UK in March. Richard Radcliffe said there were lessons to be learned from the handling of his wife's detention.
She once said to me, I just want you to know that the mistake, the comments in 2017 had a lasting impact, and even when I was being interrogated at the airport, interrogated just before my last day, they brought up and said, listen, you know, just tell us now, because obviously your foreign secretary and then Prime Minister reveals what you've been doing. You can tell us what you were really doing. It wasn't just during a holiday. She said, no, I lived with that for ages, and I know it was a mistake, but it lingered.
The UK and Norway have today signed an agreement to boost security in Europe. Boris Johnson and his Norwegian counterpart Jonas Gahr said that the joint declaration underscored their full support for Nordic partners to enhance regional defence. That comes as Finland announced their wish to join NATO, with Sweden deciding in the coming days. A man has appeared in court in the United States, charged with terrorism and weapons offences after last month's shooting on the New York subway. 62-year-old Frank James pleaded not guilty to the charges. 23 people were injured in an attack during the morning commute on April the 12th. And several people have been injured in a stabbing attack on a commuter train in Germany. It happened during rush hour about 8 o'clock this morning on the express route to Aachen. A plainclothes police officer happened to be on board. A suspect was then overpowered and arrested. German police are investigating the incident as a potential terror attack. And here, Her Majesty the Queen has attended day 2 of the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Smiling and looking relaxed, there had been speculation she might not make it to the annual event after missing the state opening of Parliament. But with more than 500 horses and 1,000 performers taking part in the grounds of Windsor Castle, it was a spectacle she didn't want to miss. The monarch has attended every year since it began in 1943, and it's the first major event in the Queen's Platinum Jubilee festivities calendar, celebrating, of course, her 70-year reign. On TV, online and on your radio via DAB+. This is GB News, and you may hear the excitement in the background. Yes, they're getting ready for Friday Night Feast with Patrick.
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is Friday Night Feast, OK? So let's get cracking. Bit of a weird place to start this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think there's a terrible double standard in our media and indeed our society when it comes to sexism and misogyny. So this Rebecca Vardy-Colleen Rooney saga has highlighted exactly that. It brought back to the public attention the fact that Rebecca Vardy went to the press, the News of the World specifically, at the time it was the best-selling newspaper in the UK, and basically lied about Peter Andre having a micro-penis. Well, a small chipolata. Anyway, now, believe it or not, I did have certain reservations about coming on national television and ranting about the plight of men with a small penis, but I was reliably informed that there's absolutely no way this could backfire or indeed ruin my career or my standing in public life. But on a serious note, I want to commend Peter Andre for a very, very classy response. We all saw in The Jungle that he got a little bit overexcited during an interaction with Katie Price, although, to be fair, of course, it's not the first time she's got a man excited on camera. But the point is that he's clearly not got a little chip of loyalty. And he made a very good point. He said, think about how it would feel if it was the other way around. That's all I'm saying. That's what he said. Exactly. You don't really ever see in Kiss and Tell, do you, the other way around, where a man has been very disparaging about a woman's private parts. Men get a terrible rep, OK? We're told that these inherently evil, sexist, misogynistic creatures are all men. Now, I've got a load of female mates, OK? Yeah, believe it or not. I've got a load of female mates, and it's very common that when you're down the pub, that they'll maybe kind of go into intricate detail about the male anatomy of their previous date. But honestly, when I've had a few pints with the lads, we just don't really kind of talk about that thing. And if someone did, we would probably think it was a bit crass. People might not believe that, but it's true, right? We just don't really do that kind of thing. I think there's a double standard as well when it comes to body image. I've started to see a load of adverts with plus-size female models because, of course, big is beautiful. But you don't see any male plus-size models, do you? The idea that body pressure is exclusively a female thing is ridiculous. It isn't. I'm all for free speech, don't get me wrong, but I don't like hypocrisy. And the fact is, it's much more socially acceptable to body shame a man than it is a woman. And when I come to think about it, it's not the only double standard either. Men get higher jail sentences than women for committing basically the same crime. Working-class white boys underperform the most at school, yet schools and universities have blocked bursaries specifically for young white lads. Well, they don't have any problems, do they, dishing out bursaries for ethnic minorities? We've got people who can commit criminal damage, but as long as it's for the right cause, like Black Lives Matter or Extinction Rebellion, then that's fine. Look, I don't like to see anyone get cancelled, and women have had their bodies objectified and taken advantage of for hundreds of years. But if Peter Andre had something to say equally derogatory about Rebecca Vardy's physical form, for example, then he'd probably never work again. And the fact is that if you're a straight, middle-class, white man, then basically you're one slip of the tongue away from being cancelled forever. And it doesn't work the other way around, does it? Right, well, OK, before I introduce my panel, which, by the way, so far only one half of which is actually here, we've been stood up by Bobby Davro. You can hear him chuckling away. Andre Walker is with me now, but we'll go to him in a little bit. Two-thirds of my panel is here. There we go. Anyway, well, to get more on this particular issue, I'm joined now by Mark Brooks, who's the chairman of the Mankind Initiative and also the love coach, Nadia Essex, I believe. But anyway, there we go. That's one of those is definitely not Nadia Essex, but we'll come back very, very shortly. Anyway, so, Mark, do you think there's a double standard in public life?
Oh, absolutely, Patrick. I mean, this case clearly shows. We've also had recent cases where we've had male bouncers who've been groped by women and not being taken seriously. In the domestic abuse work that I'm involved in, we see it all the time where men are laughed at, not taken seriously, need to man up, grow a pair, etc., when they're actually a victim of domestic abuse at the hands of a woman. But of course, rightly, you would never see that type of reaction the other way round. There's that whole issues you talked about around boys' education, that whole bobbit thing. I mean, you know, a number of years ago, about that man who was effectively castrated by his wife, and that was treated worldwide as a theme of hilarity, and you still hear it today. Oh, I'm going to do a bobbit on my husband or partner, etc. You would never get that rightly. You would never get that the other way round. But somehow, when it's a man involved, it's funny, it's hilarious, and it's basically something to be laughed at. There is a serious point on it,
just to interrupt quickly, because I want to keep it moving, Mark, mate. But, you know, do you think men get a bad rep, right? Do you think men get quite a bad rep, Mark, when it comes to things like this? I did mean it when I said it before. Genuinely, when I'm down the pub with my mates, right, we don't make the kind of comments like Rebecca Vardy made, for example, about Peter Andre's manhood, which I'm sure is of a completely normal size. But I have more regularly heard women say stuff like that, Mark. You know, men aren't the bad guys here, are they?
No, they're not. And I'll be honest, I've never heard.
Just don't really do it.
Never heard that with any of my friends, and we go out regularly, and we never talk about anything like that. We're too busy arguing about the football or the horse racing. But generally,
we're
no, we
actually quite
don't.
simple creatures.
No,
Mark,
no,
aren't we,
I mean,
really?
I mean that never comes up at all, and I've never heard any man talk about that type of thing in a group or even really with friends.
I'll bring Nadia in here because, look, to be fair, I'm sure you may well have had a different experience, don't get me wrong, and I'm not saying that necessarily my demographic of mates is representative of the entire male population, Nadia. Of course, there are several wrong guns everywhere. In fact, there's one sat next to me right now. I'll go to him shortly. But the actual serious element of this, Nadia, for me was the idea of a man having his manhood dug out massively in the press. Actually, from a psychological perspective or from a sex therapy perspective or just therapy perspective, can be very, very damaging, can't it?
Oh, gosh, yeah. And I think he even said, didn't he? He was like, can you imagine? I was just sitting at home with my wife and my kids and my phone started pinging. And the next thing you know, not only is he trending, he's trending because she said he had, a chipolata. But, we have to remember two things. One, this was in 2004. She didn't say this like yesterday. It was brought up again. And it was a very different climate in the early 2000s. I mean, magazines were about body shaming and, talking about men's willies. That was what it was. And so it was now, hopefully, we've moved forward, although...
Yeah,
one could argue that that's not true, but it was a different time back then where it was a bit more punchy, and hopefully we've learnt now that those things just aren't really acceptable.
Can I ask, OK, and please just hear me out on this. I appreciate this whole conversation's a bit weird, let's be honest, but Nadia, do men, asking for a friend obviously, do men with a smaller sized manhood have that much to worry about, really? Would women care that much about it?
No, it literally is not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean.
Fair enough, that's good, that's good, Andre will be pleased. Right, OK, but no, Mark, I just wanted to bring you back in here now. Do you think that it's more likely for a man to be cancelled these days for saying exactly the same thing? Let's say I said something in the office, of which I would never do, of course, about a woman's appendage, as it were. I'd probably be straight out the door. Whereas I have had a couple, not in this office, I've had a couple of instances where, women have said things to me, female colleagues, that if I had said that to them, I'd be sacked, and they obviously weren't. And do you think that's an issue?
Yeah, I do, actually. I think there is this double standards. I mean, I've been in meetings where people have talked about pale, male and stale. And obviously... that's obviously aimed at men of a certain age, people like me, I suppose. But you would never say anything like that towards a woman. I think that's the starkest example of how different men are described in the workplace nowadays. And it's very politically correct to actually use that term when actually it's very disparaging.
Nadia, look, feel free here to tell me to check my privilege, OK? That's absolutely fair enough. There is... potentially male privilege. Is there such a thing as female privilege as well?
Yeah, there is. But you have to remember that, I get called fat and ugly on a daily basis on social media. Don't get me wrong, there are people that say inappropriate things about men, but the misogyny that we have to put up with on a daily basis, from the second that we wake up to the second that we go to bed, I just, if you want to talk about comparisons, it's just not comparable. People feel that it's okay to judge me from the way I look every single day and say some nasty, horrible things every single day. And it happened. Us women, we're supposed to put up with it, and we're trying to sort of fight back and not put up with it. And it's not right from anyone. But I think it's a bit much to be like, poor old men, having a tough time again. Well, do better then. Just do a bit better then.
OK, OK, fair enough. And by the way, can I just counter that, Nadia? If you don't, that's fine. If you don't mind me saying, Nadia, I think if anyone says anything mean, then they're clearly either blind or an idiot. OK, so there we go. I just wanted to make sure that was out there. But look, guys, sorry, I've done it again. Misogyny in the workplace. People, I could talk to you all day about this, OK? And I would love to. And I really appreciate both of you making the time for me here on Friday Night Feast. It won't be the last time, certainly, that we chat together. Mark Brooks there, of course, the chairman of the Mankind Initiative and also the Love Coach. And indeed the wonderful Nadia Essex. Thank you both of you for kickstarting this show. Now, it's about time for me to bring in my panel, I think, but one of them isn't quite here yet. My guests this evening are the columnist and commentator Andre Walker and nobody else. No,
and the comedy giant Andre Walker.
The comedy giant Bobby Davro, who... Are we bringing Bobby in? Is Bobby here? I think Bobby is. Bobby's here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm here. Come on! Come on! Here we go.
You're all right. I'm all right.
We haven't got you a chair.
I understand it. Hello. The thing is that with Bobby, what he doesn't realise, he's paid by the hour, so we've shaved off. We've shaved off a bit of that now. But anyway, thank you very much for making it.
I'm glad I made it in time. I'm stretching like Eamon Holmes in a salad bar, but I'm doing all right. All right, move over here. Which way do you want me?
Here, he's not. Well, he's not.
We are live, you know that.
He's not lost it. He's not lost it.
All right, Andre, I'll start with you. OK. What do you make? Is there such a thing as female privilege, do you think?
Oh, I think you've got to talk about individuals rather than widespread groups. So, you know, when we're talking about, say, white male privilege, there's people who, and let's be not disrespectful, you and I went to private school, we've got comparatively wealthy parents, that is privilege, right? But you're not going to be privileged just by virtue of being a white man. Similarly, you're not privileged just by virtue of being a woman. Some women are privileged, some are not.
What if you were both? You'd be privileged, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I appreciate that you've just joined us. And you're
just trying to pick up on what you're talking about.
You've been in the thick of it. What we'll do is, right, we'll go to a little break. I'll fill you in about that's actually quite a heavy topic that we've been talking about at the top of the show. But anyway, no,
women's
of
privilege.
Course,
Women's
privilege in a way, mate.
Yeah,
yes, in a way. See, he's a quick learner, this Bobby Davro. Right, stay tuned, people. Don't go anywhere. Expect more chaos very, very shortly.
Believe it.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's serious news, entertainment, or your own views from all over our great nation, we're here to kick off your day with a smile.
The national media should be reflecting and reporting what's happening here.
You will notice the northwestern accents.
Whether you're with us on TV, radio, or online, every morning, it's breakfast from 6 a.m. Hope you can join us.
On radio, they call it the drive time slot, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. as listeners head home. It's that part of the schedule when the dust of the day's events begin to clarify, and we try to make sense of it for you. Brazier is drive time for radio and TV. It's fast, it's punchy, it's opinionated, there's a Brazier angle and a little bit of levity.
That's the question.
That's two questions, actually. That's Brazier, Monday to Thursday, 4 till 6 on GB News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debate, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr.
I'm Dan Wootton. Join me Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 for the feistiest and most fun news debate on TV, where free speech reigns. I'll bring you a sharp take on the day's biggest stories, bombshell newsmaker interviews, and A-list guests. And I guarantee you, no spin, no bias, no censorship, and no reason to go to bed. That's Dan Wootton tonight, Monday to Thursdays from 9 on GB News.
Right, welcome back, everybody, to Friday Night Feast. Now, nursery rhymes such as Bar Bar Black Sheep and This Little Piggy have been rewritten to be more vegan-friendly, bit less racist as well, apparently. And the animal rights group PETA say that the classic rhymes that are taught to children in schools are outdated in their current form. Now, in PETA's version of Bar Bar Black Sheep, OK, the sheep refuses to hand over any of its wool. That's all right, so that's a bit of a moody sheep, if you ask me, but there we go. In Three Blind Mice, the animals thank the farmer's wife for saving their lives, whereas in the original, of course, she chops off their tails with a carving knife. And Pop Goes the Weasel has had its title changed to Pop Goes the Bubble. I literally, that's one that I actually most don't understand, actually. But anyway, there we go. So, obviously, it's a much-needed intervention, apparently, by Peter to encourage kids to be more compassionate towards animals. All right, OK. We're going to have a debate on this in a sec, but earlier on today, ladies and gentlemen, I decided, you know what, this is an issue that I want to get the views of the British public on, OK? I want to go out and about, and I want to see you on the streets and talk to you about whether or not you think we're being a bit too soft on kids. Let's play the clip. Patrick Christys here, back out and about for GB News. Now, the world's gone mad, ladies and gentlemen, OK? Nursery rhymes. Nice, lovely nursery rhymes. Well, they've gone all woke. Not only now is Bar Black Sheep racist, but they also don't want their wool taken off them. Apparently, the piggies don't go to market anymore, they just go shopping. And goodness gracious me, Miss Moffat isn't just scared of a spider anymore. In fact, it, quotes, brightened her day. Are we too soft on kids? Let's find out.
They've changed 3 blind mice as well, not cutting off their tails. I think it's crazy. Nursery rhymes should be as they are.
Kids need to be shown that everyone's different, I suppose.
It's adapting to a world that's ever-changing. You know, there was a time where nursery rhymes didn't exist at all, and the concept of a nursery rhyme was in of itself novel and new. So it's okay for them to adapt with the times, and I don't think we need to be so rigid about what we grew up with.
Are we too soft on kids?
Definitely, yes.
In what way, do you think?
Because they never fail at anything anymore. The only thing they ever fail is their driving licence, and that's the first taste of failure they get.
Yeah.
So sports days on...
No winners and losers on sports day. Yes,
exactly. You've got to have winners and losers.
No, I don't think we are too soft.
Okay.
I think we're more compassionate than we've ever been, and that's the way we should continue to start going that way and start to understand behaviour rather than just try and categorise it like we try and categorise everything.
I'm a father of 3, actually.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think that definitely the levels of discipline when I was younger are a bit more relaxed now than when I was younger.
I think so, to be honest. Because, like, growing up, people put, like, a massive amount of pressure on kids. So, yeah, I don't really think...
It's a good thing, then?
Yeah, it's a good, like, to help us for the future.
Absolutely, yeah. Kids, they need to learn. It's a tough life, you know.
So, some people think, clearly, that actually we're preparing kids for a nicer, kind of fluffier world. Other people think, no, they need a bit of discipline and structure in their lives. When we come back from this very short break, we're going to go head-to-head on this, toe-to-toe. Let's find out. Are we too soft on kids? Hey, yes, OK. I would just like to qualify. It was quite windy for a while outside, which explains my hair. But anyway, to debate this particular story, I'm joined now by Margarita Sachkova from Peter and, of course, Laura Chepner, who's the Education Chair at the Vegan Society, and I think we had a cheeky little glimpse of him earlier on, actually, James Cox, who's an arable farmer. Lovely stuff. Look, thank you very, very much. If you are just joining us, it's a discussion about whether or not, well, it's quite a lot going on here, really, whether or not nursery rhymes need to be toned down. Are we a bit soft on kids? Do the animals need protecting from the likes of the author of Bar Black Sheep? So there we go. Right, I will start with you, Margarita. Thank you very much for joining us, of course. Right, this is nonsense, surely.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Patrick, for having me here, and good evening to everyone. Let me just set things straight from the very beginning. We are not asking to ban anything. We are not PC police. But I think you all would agree with me that within the past, couple of hundred of years, our attitudes towards animals and what we know about animals changed. So many of these nursery rhymes, they actually normalize cruelty to animals, or they contain some descriptions that are quite archaic now. So why not to use it as an opportunity to teach children a lesson of compassion? And so that's why Peter just suggested these alternatives to teach children respect. And if you've been around kids, like, you know how quickly they absorb everything we are saying. So why not to say something actually relevant to children of 21st century? Why not to say something that is more compassionate?
All views here, I respect all views. James, I'll throw over to you. Is it a bit offensive to people like yourself? It says here you're an arable farmer, of course. But, I mean, you know, the idea that Bar Black Sheep wouldn't want to give you her wool, for example, or it implies that you're some kind of evil sheep shearer, you know? It's not the case, is it? Is he there? Oh, I tell you what, he's gone into shock at the thought of being mugged off by Peter. So there we go. I'll go over to Laura. Laura, thank you very much. You are, of course, the education chair at the Vegan Society, and I hope very much you're there. So, Laura, some people would say this is just veganism getting involved in our lives. It doesn't. You're reading too much into it, Laura, you know.
Some people may say that perhaps, but from my perspective, having been a primary school teacher myself and a parent, I see great value in nursery rhymes. They invoke a love of music and they can teach lots of things. And so I see this not necessarily as, are we too soft on children or are we getting involved in things that don't involve us? It's more just saying that these nursery rhymes are out of date, they aren't relevant, and what we can actually do as teachers
Just 1 second on that. Sorry, I don't give you a hard time or anything, but, I mean, when has a nursery rhyme ever been relevant? You know, it's the point of it, is it? It's a nursery rhyme, you know? You don't have to make everything woke.
They come from different...
Bobby Davro here, just chipping in. Hang on, give me 1 second. Right, so, no, but seriously, they don't have to be relevant, do they? I mean, they're just nursery rhymes.
If you think about the time when Three Blind Mice was developed, for example, if you had a rodent problem in your pantry in the medieval times, that would cause a serious issue. But now we have refrigeration and it's not a problem. So in that respect, yes, it was relevant then, but not relevant now.
OK, all right, well, look, I'll take that on board. But Margarita, I'll just throw it back to you now, of course. You are representative of Peter, which is great stuff. Look, you know, things like the piggies now going shopping instead of going to market. Pigs do go to market. We're being too soft on kids here. We're teaching the world's all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. Pigs get killed and eaten.
Well, I think we need to be teaching children who pigs really are. And I mean, you're a journalist, Patrick. You should agree with me that words have their consequences. So what we are saying really impacts what we are doing and what we're doing to animals. And pigs are fantastic individuals. Like, do they know that they can enjoy massages? Or that they're very optimistic despite all the hardships they can go through. They're one of the most optimistic animals. And yet we keep killing them to make a sandwich. We keep normalizing, you know, buying a bacon roll. But the society is actually moving away from the idea of exploitation of animals. You just go to the high street, you find all possible vegan sausage rolls out there, you find vegan bacon. So I think these nursery rhymes, they should also reflect the evolving times. And if these piggies, they live in central London, they would be able to find all possible vegan pork and bacon products. So we don't need to be glamorizing, you know, animal exploitation anymore.
OK, all right, look, both of you, thank you so much. Really, I know it's a bit short and sweet. That was great to have you both on. Appreciate your views, even if I do indeed love a bacon roll. But there we go. Margarita Sachkova, of course, from Peter, and as well, the education chair at the Vegan Society, which is Laura Chapner. Thank you so much, both of you. Great to have you on the show. Right, now, Bobby Davro is desperate to chime in on this.
Not
Go
really,
on, Bobby.
because I have just come back from an animal rights barbecue. And it wasn't a success. Didn't go down that well. But I get frustrated. I'll eat everything, anything you like. We had a vegetarian Christmas last year, right? We decorated the turkey and ate the tree. I mean, and then when you say hands up who's a vegan, you look out there and they haven't got the strength to put their hands up. My daughter's a vegetarian, she's not vegan, she's a vegetarian.
You're not disowned her?
So, no, I haven't. You can eat what you want, but to tell us what we should be eating, we shouldn't be eating. And then the nursery rhymes, a lot of these nursery rhymes bring, like, ring a ring of roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, all fall down. That was about the Black Plague, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And so a lot of these
Which is
nursery
definitely not relevant, to be fair.
Well, it actually is.
To be fair, maybe it was more relevant than we gave it.
I bet the same gags were around then when the Black Plague was on. You know, you used to cough to cover a fart, now you fart to cover a cough. I mean, I bet that was around in the old plague days.
I tell you what, Bobby Davro's on fire. Andre, how are you?
It's Davro, though. Watched you on TV. I'm older than I look.
No, you're not.
No, I know.
All right, lads, come on, Andre. What do you make of this? Are we too soft? My concern, right, is that we're a bit soft on kids. We're teaching them. We're trying. You know, we've got no winners and losers on Sports Day, for example. What's all that about? We all know who came first and what Fat Lad came last.
But the reality is, and I said this earlier about, you know, people who have the privilege of going to a really good school. Those schools instill in you that you have to try and win in life. You know, at the end of the day, we are condemning millions upon millions of kids to being told that they don't have to succeed in life to have a good life, and it's nonsense.
We've
sat people.
Rubbish.
I mean, you know, Bobby's from a different part of the world to you and I. We're from Manchester. But generations of people from the north of England were stuck on the dole and told to eat pizzas and drink special brew for breakfast. It destroyed their lives. But I'll tell you one thing, and Al Murray was joking when he said this, but I thought it was a great point. He said, I don't hate cows, it's just I'm hungry and they're made of beef.
The thing is, animals do taste lovely.
Well, they do as well. Lots of representative vegetables. Vegetables. Yeah. And the nursery rhymes thing, that's what annoys me. Because, you know, you have some classics. You know, Mary had a little lamb, she tied it to a pylon, 10,000 volts shot up his arse and turned his water nylon. That's what they should... If they want
sorry, Davro. You told that same joke in about 1987.
I certainly did.
And it's still relevant
Old Mother
now.
Hubbard went to the cupboard to get a doggy a bone, went to bent over, the rover took over and gave... I'm not going to swear.
OK.
But all these things, why are we changing our history?
It's good. It's good to know you're using the same material.
It is the same material.
It's come back into fashion.
I am the best in my price range, though.
It is, and that's important to note, actually, very much. This is what I thought was a TV show. Turns out it's Bobby Davro's advert.
Comedy show, yeah.
But there we are. No, you're a legend, Bobby. Thank you very much. And we will have you back after the break as well, I believe, which is great. Look, but seriously, you know, I don't like this idea that we kind of mollycoddle kids a bit too much. The world is not
a nice place.
Bad things happen.
On a very serious point, and Bobby raised it, Ring a Ring a Rosies is about the plague. Right, I was quite surprised when I discovered that as, say, 12, 13-year-old.
Yeah.
The reality is, these nursery rhymes are a bit of fun, but also there's another insidious point here. They are a tradition of this country.
They are.
And time again, this weird tradition... I mean, I didn't know what a Ring a Ring a Rosies was, or a pocket full of posies. I didn't even know posies were flowers, right?
No.
But that is part of our tradition, and it's being eradicated by these people who want Chairman Mao style to have a year zero and change everything.
They're looking for offence and everything.
That's where it becomes insidious.
Well, actually, you are actually uniquely placed, Bobby, I think, in this. Now, I think you're a tremendously funny man. The fact is, most people think you are, which is why you've had such a long career.
So many nice
and
things.
that's great. But, you know, people get offended these days. I'm not sure...
You're entitled to be offended. Don't mean you're right. Doesn't mean you're right.
But if you were starting out today, right, do you think you'd have made it, or do you think you'd have been cancelled?
You can't. I'm not a controversial comedian. I don't have an ounce of racism in me. I don't have an ounce of homophobia. I like my house. I don't have any... There you go. Now, we should be laughing. Don't laugh at people, laugh with people. And anyone that's got offended by anything you say, they can be offended, but it does not make you right, and it doesn't mean to say we have to be offended.
Hang on a second. I think the point that Patrick was making, would people have found offence in you deliberately? You've never said anything that offends anybody in real life, but the fact that you're a white, middle-class man... Well, they don't have a right to be offended.
No, they have a right.
But I think they'd have had a go at you.
Well, look, can I just take an example very quickly?
Yes.
I did a joke about suicide the other day. I said my granddaddy hung himself on Christmas Day, and as a mark of respect, we didn't take him down to the 6th of January. And it's a joke, right? It's a joke. And then this man came up, and he got physical with me. He said, you're this, you're that, and 15,000 people died. He gave me the statistics of people commit suicide. And his son had committed suicide, I was told. Yeah. How am I to know that? The one person... You can be offended about anything. I do a joke about a dead cat or something. Oh, my cat died yesterday. You can be offended at everything.
But that's a joke about Christmas decorations, to be fair.
In a way it is, yeah. Right, lads, OK, this is, I must say, it's certainly a Friday evening. You won't get this on the BBC. It's time for a break, OK? But I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Don't you dare move. Oh, OK. No, apparently we're not doing that. OK. On the way next is a brilliant edition of Challenge Christys. OK, so find out in a couple of minutes why I needed to put on loads of protective gear before taking on this week's challenge.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's serious news, entertainment, or your own views from all over our great nation, we're here to kick off your day with a smile.
The national media should be reflecting and reporting what's happening here.
You will notice the northwestern accents.
Whether you're with us on TV, radio, or online, every morning, it's breakfast from 6 a.m. Hope you can join us.
On radio, they call it the drive time slot, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. as listeners head home. It's that part of the schedule when the dust of the day's events begin to clarify, and we try to make sense of it for you. Brazier is drive time for radio and TV. It's fast, it's punchy, it's opinionated, there's a brazier angle and a little bit of levity.
That's the question. That's two questions, actually.
That's Brazier, Monday to Thursday, 4 till 6 on GB News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debates, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr.
I'm Dan Wootton. Join me Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 for the feistiest and most fun news debate on TV, where free speech reigns. I'll bring you a sharp take on the day's biggest stories, bombshell newsmaker interviews, and A-list guests. And I guarantee you, no spin, no bias, no censorship, and no reason to go to bed. That's Dan Wootton tonight, Monday to Thursdays from 9 on GB News.
Right, welcome back to Friday Night Feast. It's time now for my favourite part of the week. Yes, it's Challenge Christys, and we'll come to our latest challenge in a moment, and believe me, you do not want to miss this one. But first, as well as these weekly challenges, I've got a more long-term target, OK? So I need to lose 1.5 stone in 2 months before I dance on stage with the Dream Boys, who are male strippers, in front of a live audience. And at the same time as getting fit, I'm aiming to raise lots and lots of money for charity. Because, obviously, I do a lot of work for charity. Anyway, I don't like to talk about it, though, of course. Who would? Anyway, Nathan Dunn. Nathan Dunn is a good friend of the show. In fact, he's an all-round absolute superhero of a man. And at the moment, he's walking from John O'Groats to Land's End in his bare feet, right? He is basically currently, I believe, in Rosyth, which is apparently around 15 miles northwest of Edinburgh. And I'm delighted to say he joins us now. Nathan, how are you, mate?
Doing good, thanks. How are you?
You OK? Good stuff.
Yeah,
so, right, how are your feet, first and foremost? Because you've already walked loads of miles, haven't you?
Yeah, they're sore. They're just... It's difficult each day, but each day they get stronger, so... Just like my mind
good
does.
lad.
So.
Look, fantastic stuff. And just remind people why you're doing this, because we've kind of teamed up. I mean, look, let's be honest, you're doing quite literally all of the legwork here, right? But we've teamed up, you know, to try and raise as much money as we possibly can for Mind. And why is that important to you?
It's important to me because Mind is a mental health charity within the UK, and they help a lot of people. And I personally could have done with help like that if I knew it was available, and I didn't. I went to the NHS and they said it was 15 weeks, and after that I had to go private and speak to a counsellor. But if I'd have known that there were charities out there that could help me, then I would have reached out to them. So I just want to make people understand that if they are struggling, they can reach out to these charities like Mind and they'll be helped.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. And, you know, it takes people like you, in my opinion, to be very honest about struggles they've had. And I think, actually, if more people are honest about it, we'd realise that loads of people have had quite big struggles in their lives, let's be honest. But to actually go out your way, really, and do something like this and to set a world record in the process. Now, I just want to bring people a bit up to date. I've got the latest figures in front of me here. So, Nathan, you've raised yourself £3,759. We will, in a little bit, bring up your Just Give Me link, of course. We here at GB News so far, I'm just reading this now, the latest figure is £9,806. So we're getting there. Hopefully, we can get to this £50,000 target. Now, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, before I go back to Nathan, cheeky little plug this, OK? JustGiving.com/fundraising/Challenge Christys. One more time, JustGiving.com/fundraising/Challenge Christys. I'll give out Nathan's one as well in a bit. It's all going to the same place at the end of the day. And loads of you have been giving us, basically, your hard-earned money. Bear in mind that this time yesterday, we were on £7,000, people. So you've got 2,800, the best part of £3,000 in a day, which is fantastic. The British public, it's lovely stuff. If you can, please, please, please donate. But Nathan, so talk to me about what have been some of the highs and the lows for you at the minute. You've been, I mean, you must have walked over some pretty tricky terrain. How have your night's sleep been? I can see your tent there in the background.
Yeah, tonight's a really good night. I met a really kind person who actually has let me stay on his land, so it's nice, it's quiet, it's flat. But the last week I had to go through some difficult, very, very difficult terrain, and yeah, there was one day where I was in tears. I wanted to stop.
Oh man.
I wanted to go home. I've recorded. I'm trying to capture as many of these moments as I can, so I can show sort of the real, authentic challenge in itself, and not just posting all these positive, happy things, because it's not all positive and happy. Some days are really bad, but that's just like life. Some days are really bad, some days are really good. So, yeah, I really struggled the other day, but, the sun came out at the end of the day, and I kept moving forward.
OK, look, Nathan, I think you're an absolute hero. In fact, that's how we met. We made you our national treasure one week, and look what you've only gone and done, mate. So,
Patrick, can I say this to you?
Yeah.
I'm very happy. I think this guy's a great bloke. I'm happy to donate my fee for tonight's show to this. I don't know how we'll do it. We'll work it out with GB News. But I think if you've raised between you, what is it, £12,000?
Yeah.
Where did you get out of FTSE index?
No, we got it off the generous British public. Well, Andre, that's a lovely thing.
We'll work it out between you and I, how we do that. We're happy to do it.
That's a wonderful thing to do. Very, very generous of you and very, very kind. Look, Nathan, thank you so much, mate, and thank you for making the time for us and for doing what you're doing. I really, really hope that we can not only raise a bit of money, but save some lives as well. Nathan Dunn, a proper hero. OK, well done. Well done. Good stuff. So, look, I'm going to give you that link very quickly again. It's justgiving.com/fundraising/Challenge Christys. If we're on 9,806 as it stands, people, look, could we possibly get to 10 grand by the end of the show,
hang on,
maybe?
you already have done I'm not going to tell you how much my fee is, but you have done.
You're being paid for the show?
You're overpaid. You're massively... Well, you've opened up a can of worms here, ladies and gentlemen.
Davro's only on 50 quid.
Davro's only 50 quid more than Les Dennis. Right, OK. Anyway, as you know by now, because you can hear my panel here, I'll bring him in a second, but I can do anything. I can't control Bobby Davro, but I can do anything, OK? And guess what? Whatever you want me to do, I can do it much better than you ever thought. So, in the last couple of months, I've landed a plane, right? I've gone toe-to-toe with a professional boxer for about a second before he knocked me out, and I've had a go at wrestling. And I've been flipping brilliant at all of it, and you've all seen that with your own eyes, OK? But if you've got a challenge that you want me to do, then it's patrick@gbnews.uk. You've sent in some absolute crackers in the last couple of months, but it's time now to show you what I got up to on Tuesday in Essex. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest instalment of Challenge Christys with me, Patrick Christys, where you, the viewer, you, the listener, my friends, really, family in a way, get to challenge me to do something, and I prove, yet again, how great I am. Well, here I am at Lakeside in Essex. I absolutely love Essex. Basically, everyone here is absolutely sound. I can see a TGI Fridays there. I think we all know what's happening here. Friday night feast, TGI Fridays. I eat loads, hopefully drink some bit as well. And, yeah, we all just have a great time. So let's find out what I'm doing. Quick look at the total wipeout. I mean... Oh, here he is. Hi, James, you all right, mate? Yeah, some obvious mistake, really. I'm at a place in Essex called Total Wipeout, and you didn't know anything about this, did you?
Yeah, I organised it. I went there myself, did it myself, completed it, blitzed it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I thought, give it to Patrick, because I'd love to see you fumble around.
It's just like, like the waiver says, like, oh, you might die.
Warning, warning! A failure to follow these instructions can result in serious injury, such as broken bones or even death.
I mean, there's a thing called the sucker punch, mate.
Yeah, basically the challenge is to make you look more stupid than you did last week, so it's getting hard.
If I just say no now, what happens?
Have you heard of a P45?
A P what?
A P45? Basically, you'll be on the job market next week.
So you run this place, do you?
Yes.
Yeah, good. What's your name?
Tom Matthews.
Nice to meet you, mate. Patrick,
Hi, Patrick.
Good stuff. Now, what's going on here, really?
Yeah, so first off, we're going to get you kitted up in your safety gear.
Yep.
And then I'll take you around each obstacle one by one, and you'll try and accomplish it.
Can I just, slip you a tenner and you don't do that?
Yeah, if you like.
Oh, sweet.
XL.
Yeah, I know it's an XL, mate. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's going on. Right. Okay, there we go. Right. I feel a bit like a teenage mutant ninja turtle. Good stuff. Right, okay. I think it's time to get totally wiped out. Producer Mel, I don't want to do it, really. I look ridiculous, right? Last week, the flyboarding thing. The week before that, landing a plane. Surely I've got some credit in the bank. No?
Listen, Patrick, listen, please. This is your job. You've got to do what you've got to do.
I don't remember signing a contract that says this specifically.
No, listen. Yeah, I've moved my days around
Right,
to be here
fine.
with you.
Yeah.
So.
Tom, what's this?
This is the Trampo Sweeper.
The Trampo Sweeper, right.
You're going to stand on one of the trampolines and try and jump over the sweeper arm.
Well, it's dead easy, this, isn't it?
You are wearing XL body kits, mate.
That's true. OK, so, it's Trampo Sweeper time, people. What could possibly go wrong? At least I kept my dignity. OK, well, that was a tremendous success. It's time to see what I'm doing next. And Tom, you've got your big red balls out.
Yeah, it's time for you to jump on them.
Right.
So you're going to start that end, and you're going to run across all 4 balls.
OK.
And dive through the hoop.
And you've got to finish with a flourish. This is obviously going to go really well. Oh. I've got my work trousers on. Oh, bastard! Have you got a ladder? Is it the shoes? I will get this. Mind over matter. Mind over matter. One more time. Believe it or not, I landed a plane 2 weeks ago. I know, same guy. Oh! I can probably just climb onto it from here. Okay, I'm stuck. Oh gosh. Okay. Right, okay, fine. I could do this anytime, but I just thought, hey, you know. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Come on, man. Nearly. Come on, mate, going. Keep it going. I've got real purchase. Yes, yes. I mean, it's just the satisfaction of knowing that you've achieved something all by yourself at the end of the day, you know. Right, it's big ball time. Okay. Oh, I could do this all day, mate. Oh, hey. Oh. There we go. Visualize it. Visualize it. Be the vision. Be the vision. I'm feeling really confident about this one. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, next. What the heck is this?
It's a sucker punch. It's time to knock you out.
Right. We can all agree that the big red balls went really well, so oh. How does anyone do this?
If I could make being lazy into an Olympic sport, I'll win a gold medal.
Oh.
There are so many choices that I can't even begin to make. Like staring at a menu in a restaurant, looking at in a foreign language.
Get it! Woo! Right, so it's sideways sweeper time. Let's give it a go, I suppose. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, I'm halfway through the big swingy daffy thing. There's another half to go. This has got spikes on it. It's got spikes on it. Come on, Patrick. Come on, Patrick. Big brave boy. Oh. All right, OK. Oh, yes! Oh. Next. Right, OK, this is the final one, and I've been absolutely mullered from pillar to post here. But for the last hurrah, Mel, my wonderful producer, Mel, has stepped in to the fray. A bit of moral support, I needed to go over the line. Right, so I get whooshed around in this whizzy thing until I'm sick. I then try and make it down that track there, and I've got to get to the target. That's that bit. You spin me right round, baby, rah, rah. Oh, no. Oh, you really feel like the G-force on this. You've got to put some back. You're right there, Mel. Oh, my God, this is quicker. Oh, gosh. Oh! Just keep going, Mel, you'll be all right. How much longer is it? 30 seconds? OK, whoa. OK. Oh. Didn't stop by that one. Oh! Flipping out. Oh, I've got this, I've got it, I've got it. Thank you to whoever nominated me to do whatever that is. Right, OK, so I actually needed physio after that. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Now, if you're listening on GB News on DAB Plus Radio, you can watch me do that challenge right now on your YouTube channel and also our Facebook page. But Tom Matthews is the owner of Wipeout at the Lakeside Shopping Centre, and he joins us now. Tom, what a day out that was. He's there now, very on brand. Good lad. I mean, this thing is great, and I believe it actually opens to the public, not celebrities like me, tomorrow.
Yes. So I'll have to be honest with you, Patrick. Your producer didn't actually do it. You was the guinea pig, and you was the first person to complete the challenge. So, well done.
What? Serious? I knew I was getting stitched up. Serious? I knew it from start to finish. Can I just say that those, for want of a better phrase, Tom, we've already dragged this this show into the absolute gutter, of course we have, but that was the hardest hit I've ever taken off the big red balls. It's tricky, Tom, isn't it? It's actually very, very difficult to do.
Yeah, it's not easy. I'm just happy to see you haven't got any bandages today.
No. Yeah, there's a compensation claim in. But seriously, though, mate, this is fantastic value, and it is good fun. But it's also actually a proper workout. Can I ask, Tom, you're quite an interesting lad, actually. You're a bit of an entrepreneur. You're a bit of a go-getter. And, I mean, this was your idea, wasn't it, to bring this to Lakeside? But you've done a few other bits and bobs in your time, haven't you?
Yeah. So this is the first of its kind in the UK. There's no other. This is the official Wipeout course, as seen on the television. And yeah, we open tomorrow. You can book your tickets at wipeoutlakeside.com.
Yeah, exactly. But just a little bit, Tom, if you don't mind, a little bit about you. I just want to say, because when you left, right, your not staff, that sounds a bit derogatory, but whoever else was left there, were all singing your praises as a bloke, right? Because you really are not a chancer, but you go out and get it, you take a bit of a risk, and you've got a bit of a good business mind on you, haven't you?
I'd like to think I'm a bit modest. I don't really talk about myself too much like this, Patrick.
That's all right. I don't want to embarrass you, but I did want to try and give you a bit of praise, Tom. Look, you're a legend, and thank you so much, mate, all right? Yeah. And, look, I would recommend, honestly, seriously, anybody, right, to go and give this a go. Tom, if they want to book in, how do they do it?
So tickets are on sale now at wipeoutlakeside.com, and we open to the public tomorrow. So come down and try it out for yourself.
You'll be absolutely chock-a-block, I'm afraid. I'm not doing that again, no. Well, I will do. But no, Tom, thank you very much, mate. Tom Matthews there, the owner of Wipeout at the Lakeside Shopping Centre, who obviously was just getting involved right then. So, as you know, I'm losing weight before I dance with the Dream Boys, although, to be fair, I have just demolished a load of peanuts and some cocktail sausages. There's not a joke in there about Peter Andre, OK? And this evening, I can finally reveal the dates that I will be strutting my stuff. That's right, I meet the Dream Boys. I met them even last month. And if you're watching on GB News TV and your YouTube channel, I'm sure you'll agree that I've got some pretty good moves. I mean, I was absolutely sensational at it. Look at them. Look at me. I don't know if you've ever seen a blancmange in between two gymnasts, but there we go. But obviously, when it came to the big moment, I've got to be honest with you, I bottled it. I refused to get my kit off. I was embarrassed about the fact that I got a body like a dropped lasagna. But I took on a new challenge there and then, OK? I promised to dance with the Dream Boys at a show with an actual live audience. And, ladies and gentlemen, I can officially today reveal that I will be making my debut as a male stripper in Epsom, in Surrey.
I live around the corner, I'm going to come see him.
Good. On Friday, June the 24th, OK? So Friday, June the 24th. Now, we'll be giving you the full GB News treatment, obviously, so if you can't make it down there, then you won't have to miss any of the action because we'll make sure that we stream the most embarrassing moments of my life, I think live on television, potentially.
And is it just one routine you're doing?
Yes, it's just one routine I'm doing, Bobby. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there we go. Yes, it's at the Epsom Playhouse.
And refunds.
I'm booking me and Bobby tickets right now. I'm not joking.
Refunds are available at the box office.
Yeah, it was sold out. It's not anymore. No, the idea that now, for me personally, here's actually booking his ticket. I'm already very, very nervous about this. It's quite embarrassing for me. It's quite a big moment for me, really. And the idea now that when I, take my shirt off, essentially, that the first thing I'll see is Bobby Davro's face.
Bobby, do you want A seats or B seats?
I want B seats.
B seats, we'll get B seats.
OK, lads, right, look, thank you very much. We're going to have to go to the news right now, but make sure you get in touch, OK? Patrick at GBNews.uk. If you want to challenge me to do something, I promise you I'll do my best. I'll turn up, I'll take some pictures with you, I'll sign a few autographs,
You have to get the whole kit off?
And we'll see you in a tip, because we're going to have a very, very quick break. But don't you go anywhere, because there's more of this utter madness coming your way very shortly.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's serious news, entertainment, or your own views from all over our great nation, we're here to kick off your day with a smile.
The national media should be reflecting and reporting what's happening here.
You will notice the northwestern accents.
Whether you're with us on TV, radio, or online, every morning, it's breakfast from 6 a.m. Hope you can join us.
On radio, they call it the drive time slot, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. as listeners head home. It's that part of the schedule when the dust of the day's events begin to clarify, and we try to make sense of it for you. Brazier is drive time for radio and TV. It's fast, it's punchy, it's opinionated, there's a Brazier angle and a little bit of levity.
That's the question. That's two questions, actually.
That's Brazier, Monday to Thursday, 4 till 6 on GB News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debates, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr.
I'm Dan Wootton. Join me Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 for the feistiest and most fun news debate on TV, where free speech reigns. I'll bring you a sharp take on the day's biggest stories, bombshell newsmaker interviews, and A-list guests. And I guarantee you, no spin, no bias, no censorship, and no reason to go to bed. That's Dan Wootton Tonight, Monday to Thursdays from 9 on GB News.
Welcome back. That first hour was absolute carnage, and the second one will no doubt be exactly the same. This is Friday Night Feast with me, Patrick Christys, and in the next hour, I'll tell you about the swimming pool that was forced to close for a very, very unpleasant reason. We'll speak to a woman who says that she's in love with an alien. Yep. And we'll also try to rehome an absolutely gorgeous rescue dog in our popular feature, Dog of the Week. But that's all after the news with Polly Middlehurst, the legend herself.
The
The headlines tonight: the Stormont Assembly in Northern Ireland has failed to elect a new speaker today. It comes after the Democratic Unionist Party decided not to support the process as part of its protest against the Northern Ireland Protocol. The DUP warned that the Northern Ireland Protocol puts peace at risk in the country. Sinn Féin Stormont leader Michelle O'Neill said the move punished the electorate and she believed they deserved better.
Not tomorrow, and not for a moment longer, can the DUP deny democracy, punish the public and boycott this Assembly and Executive and prevent us from putting money into people's pockets. Every party in this chamber told the electorate that they would turn up on day one.
Well, in other news tonight, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe's husband says the Prime Minister didn't explicitly apologise today for how her detention in Iran had been handled by the government. The former British aid worker, who was held captive for 6 years in Iran, met Boris Johnson today for the first time since she returned to the UK in March. Richard Ratcliffe, her husband, said there were lessons to be learned from the handling of her detention.
She once said to me, I just want you to know that the mistake, the comments in 2017 had a lasting impact, and even when I was being interrogated at the airport, interrogated just before my last day, they brought up and said, listen, just tell us now, because obviously your foreign secretary and then Prime Minister reveals what you've been doing. You can tell us what you were really doing. It wasn't just doing a holiday. She said, no, I lived with that for ages, and I know it was a mistake, but it lingered.
International news: and the UK and Norway have signed an agreement today to boost security in Europe. Boris Johnson and his Norwegian counterpart Jonas Gahr said the joint declaration underscored the full support for Nordic partners to enhance regional defence. It comes as Finland announced their wish to join the alliance, with Sweden deciding in the coming days. Here, a former police officer has been found guilty of gross misconduct after trying to form an inappropriate sexual or emotional relationship with a victim of crime. PC Shiva Hidishiran got hold of the woman's phone number and contacted her several times before lying about reopening her case in order to get to her home address. A tribunal has ruled the Met officer should have been sacked if he hadn't already quit the force. Several people have been injured in a stabbing attack on a commuter train in Germany. It happened during rush hour around 8 o'clock this morning on the express route to Aachen. A plainclothes officer happened to be on board the train. The suspect was overpowered and arrested. German police are now investigating that as a potential terror attack. Her Majesty the Queen attended day 2 of the Royal Windsor Horse Show today, smiling and looking relaxed. There had been speculation she might not make it to the annual event after missing the state opening of Parliament. But with more than 500 horses on show and 1,000 performers taking part in the grounds of Windsor Castle, it was a spectacle she didn't want to miss. The first major event in her Platinum Jubilee calendar, celebrating her 70-year reign. On TV, online and on your radio via DAB+, you're with GB News. Now, more chaos. It's Friday Night Feast with Patrick.
Baldy, slaphead. These are just some of the things that you can't call people anymore. Is calling someone bald at work sexual harassment? An employment tribunal has ruled that it is. So the decision relates to a claim brought by a chap called Tony Finn, which is against the West Yorkshire-based British bung company, apparently, there we go, where he worked as an electrician for 24 years before he was fired in May last year. Now, he complained that he was the victim of sexual harassment due to comments made about his lack of hair. So more than that, though, more than that, the 3 judges ruled that commenting on a man's baldness in the workplace is actually equivalent to remarking on, let's say, the size of a woman's breasts. Don't, Bobby. The size of a woman's breasts. So, what do we think about all of this? Well, joining me to discuss this is Richard Bozeman, who is one of the guys behind Bald Bro. So they provide advice, products and solutions for guys who are balding. Look, thank you very much, mate, for joining us. Really great to have you on the show, and thank you for giving up quite a large chunk of your Friday evening. Is it offensive to call someone bald?
Well, yeah, I guess it is. But, I mean, for the sexual harassment side, I don't really understand it. But, yeah, I guess it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. It just depends if someone's confidence is down more than anything. But if not, it could just be water off a duck's back.
No, exactly. And actually, in a way, I mean, oh, gosh, I've heard these words about to come out of my mouth now, and I'm wondering whether or not I should say it. I'm going to say it. In a way, it's a bit of a compliment, right? Because if it's sexual harassment, it's implying that there's some kind of compliment. If they're calling you bald and it's sexual harassment, that would imply that they're attracted to your baldness, presumably. So, in a way, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it?
Super attractive, isn't it? Well,
I think you are a deeply attractive man, yes. No, but carry on.
Thanks very much. Yeah, well, I just... It seems more that it was more bullying in the workplace more than anything. I don't see why they would have gone down that route and called it sexual harassment. I really don't.
OK, all right. And can I ask, look, were there times maybe when you started to go bald that you were struggling with it personally, or have you always just embraced it?
No, I'll be honest, it was very tough at the start. Really? I was only very young, around about 20, 21. So, as you're growing up, I'm not going to be attractive and everything else. So, yeah, I struggled with it. But over time, I got more confident. And now, I'm happy as I am. Realise there's plenty of life after hair and there's more important things to worry about.
Absolutely, look, 100%. And by the way, can I just say, one of the things I hope you don't take this the wrong way, which is that I actually can't imagine you with hair. I think it really suits you, right? It seems like this is how you're supposed to look, right? Like, genuinely.
People say, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, mate. It suits you. And I think with respect, even if you had a massive head of hair, I think you'd look good with it shaved off anyway, to be honest with you, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, it's almost had no hair for as long as I had hair now. So it's almost been 20 years since I shaved it off.
Absolutely. Now, look, just tell us a little bit about Bald Bro, right? OK, so you've got advice, products and solutions for guys who are balding. What's all that about? What goes on?
Yeah, well, it's just kind of like a community that me and a couple of friends started up during lockdown, basically when all the hairdressers were shut and there was a lot of balding guys out there who wouldn't be able to get their weekly trims to cover it up and everything. And as a bit of fun, we kind of just thought, yeah, we'll start this page and, tell people that there's plenty of life after hair. And we were really surprised at the engagement we got and that it's such a big thing that people really do struggle with it, and it really impacts on their mental health. And we just ran with it, really. And we're not social workers or anything like that. We just provide the advice that we can through the experiences that we've had. And it's all been really positive. And going down that line, we found that there was no products and stuff for bald guys, we're not catered for, and we just ran with it. We've just brought out a product line which will be launching in about a month's time.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Look, Richard, thank you so much for coming on the show, and good luck to you, mate. It sounds like you're off to an absolute flyer there. Richard Bozeman, of course, one of the guys behind Bald Bro. Now, I've been meaning to get a haircut every single day this week and then just not done it. And I'm actually with two chaps here who aren't bald. We've got my panel,
hang on.
Bobby Davro.
Look, I'm going bald.
Look, you're thinning on top, Bobby, but that's, that's all right.
Well, actually, we three are in the same position, right? So there are two types. There are two types of baldness. There's basically a natural thinning that will happen to men. So I've got slightly less than you, and he's got slightly less than me. But actually, what a lot of people get upset about, what people get very upset about, if you've got the male pattern baldness thing, in your teens and 20s, you will start to see it. And that really does upset people. I mean, I had a friend of mine, funnily enough, he's a member of Parliament, and he was turning around to me and he said, look, I was bothered about going bald in my 20s, not that bothered about being bald age 40, which I kind of understand.
And as you said, he suits it. It would look right.
Absolutely.
I always wonder why people wear wigs when they get bald. I can't understand.
Go on, which celebrities wear wigs? Come on, the cameras are running. Brucey can't see you.
Yeah, there we go. That's one. No, he said celebrities.
Tim, when you get sexual harassment for it, though, there's an answer to it. So it's too many U-turns on the sheets, isn't it?
But the other thing is about male pattern baldness. It is related to hormones. You are more virulent if you are bald.
Hang on
there is a link.
Hang on a second. So are we saying now? Well, you saying live on national television that bald people are randier?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. So, you know Propecia, which is the treatment for male pattern baldness, those tablets, all they are is hormone suppressants.
Really?
That's all they do, is suppress your testosterone.
I thought, is it right that, isn't it on your mum's side or something? Is that the way
My mum wasn't bald.
Mine was.
Well, it didn't pass my girlfriend's bald.
I'll tell you something. I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say this on national TV. But, you know, if I lost my hair, it'd be the only part of my body that didn't have hair on it.
You're incredibly hairy
I'm a rug.
man.
How do you know?
I've seen...
You were watching me in the showers, weren't you, Patrick?
Here goes the last sausage, right?
There we go,
Before
okay.
I do this, I found my first grey pubic hair today.
Oh, Jesus. What is wrong?
The last one.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
It's about hair, isn't it? It's about hair. Okay. Never trust a gas man with no eyebrows.
Oh, I suppose it's very difficult to argue with that, actually. And indeed I won't, because we're moving on. Right, so here on Friday Night Feast, we like to bring you stories that the mainstream media refuse to cover. So, a few weeks ago, for example, I interviewed the curator of a penis museum in Iceland. Seriously, that actually happened. Tonight, it's my pleasure to speak to Abby Bella, who claims that she was abducted by aliens and is now in a relationship with one of the extraterrestrial beings. I believe that Abby is with us now. Yes, OK. So this is a very romantic story, obviously. How did you and your boyfriend meet?
Well, hi, Patrick. You're so cute, even though you're not bald. And I obviously am into bald guys, just saying, you know, don't sue me. But yeah, we met because I got abducted by aliens about a year ago in Canary Wharf. And yeah, I met him on his spaceship. He has a little spaceship. All his friends are bald as well. And we just, you know, we started talking, and I was talking about how Earthmen are trash and it would almost be better to get abducted by aliens than keep dating on Tinder. And they liked the joke. The aliens thought it was funny. And yeah, he just thinks I'm funny. I think he's cute. He's my type. And we just get along. He has a little mouth, as you can see, but he doesn't talk. So that's...
Hang on a minute, Abby. Sorry, that's not your actual alien boyfriend, is it? That's a blow-up replica, which is quite ironically...
Hold him up a bit higher.
That's the blow-up doll version of him.
He's very handsome, breathtaking.
But your real alien boyfriend is where?
Oh, yeah. So this is the whole thing. I would love to introduce them to you, but for security reasons, you know how it is on Earth, you know, Area 51, we've all heard the stories. I don't want him on a slab somewhere, you know, getting experimented on. So he doesn't actually show his real face. He can only come on shows with me as this doll, but it's like a symbolic representation of my real boyfriend. When I miss him, when he's doing his UFO stuff, because he's a captain, when he's, you know, being a captain on his ship, circling the Earth and all of that, I just have this little doll to remind me of him, so I don't miss him.
So where exactly is he from? Can I ask what he's called as well, your alien boyfriend?
Yeah, he likes to keep anonymous, again, you know, Area 51, but you can call him Paul.
No, but quite literally, what planet does he come from? What's the...
He's from the Andromeda Galaxy. He's from a major planet.
All right, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, I've travelled quite far for a date in the past, but I've never come that far. But OK, all right. And look, I'm going to ask, you know, what do you like most about him? You know, is it his sense of humour, for example? He's quite literally not a man of the world, but in a way he is.
Yeah. Well, he's out of this world. I think what I like most about him is that he's not like Earthmen, so he doesn't lie. Aliens don't know how to lie, and they just don't have prejudice, so he doesn't have the same kind of sexist beliefs that a lot of Earthmen have. No offense, not all men, right? But many. And that's what I like about him. And what he likes about me is, I guess, that I'm different. He likes that that I'm open-minded enough to want to date him. And it's like a soul connection.
No, completely. And he's right about that. You are different. That's 100% accurate. Does anyone ever say to you, look, oh, gosh, you know, this is insane?
Yeah, some people. To be honest, when we first went public with the story, I thought people would call me crazy. But it seems like more of a reaction came from Earthmen. I got a lot of backlash from Earthmen, a lot of hate from them saying that I shouldn't be dating an alien boyfriend and that I should be dating Earthmen. But I think they're just jealous.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. It's fair to say he's an incredibly lucky alien. And you know what? Some would say he doesn't deserve you. But anyway, thank you very much, Abby. And I really appreciate you coming on and send your best to your alien boyfriend as well. Bobby.
That was meant to be Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, no, OK. Right.
Well, I mean, he must have done some experiments on her. Basically around the brain, surely.
But if he's a captain, is she a space cadet?
She definitely is. No, but can I also, lads, if we can do this, on a serious note...
I'm sorry, you can't.
No,
what are you talking about?
We've crossed the Rubicon.
What are you talking about? You've got Eamon Holmes and Isabel Webster making serious television, and look at that fiasco.
Look,
the woman
people believe that's flat earthers.
Let's just be clear. An inflatable alien called Paul, and you interviewed the two of them.
What a letdown.
I did, yeah, no, I did, actually, yes, that's true. And it's funny, isn't it, because Eamon's been nominated for an award and I haven't, and we'll never get to the bottom of that, will we? Do you believe in aliens?
I believe that Professor Brian Cox tells us... Yeah, of course I believe in aliens, because the chances of aliens within our local galaxy is, of course, trillions, isn't it?
I think there's...
We won't see them because they understand physics.
I think, actually, there's now really no doubt that we're not the only things that have life in the universe. But the thing is, of course, the universe is pulling to pieces, it's pulling apart. Therefore, every single minute of every single day, we get less and less likely we'll ever meet them.
Exactly, and it's not the only thing that's coming apart, it seems. Anyway, it's time now. It's time now for Patrick's hat trick. When I look at 3 videos that have gone viral on social media recently. So we start with Michael Gove and what is probably best described as his interesting appearance on breakfast television on Wednesday morning. If you've not seen it, you're going to love it. Check it out.
But that doesn't amount to an emergency budget, which is what some people immediately thought that it did. It is an example of some commentators chasing their own tails and trying to take a statement that is commonsensical, turning it into a major capital letters, a big news story, and in fact, when the Treasury quite rightly say, calm down, then people, instead of recognising that they've overinflated the story in the first place, then say, oh, this is clearly a split.
What? OK.
He's wasted in politics. I think he's just wasted.
Exactly. Yeah, Andre, do you think he is wasted in politics?
Patrick, let's be honest, we've all done it. It's 3 in the morning and you go, I've got to be on the telly at 6 a.m, get the makeup on and do your best. I think it's admirable that he got through it.
I mean, he soldiered on, didn't he? Fair enough. What about you? Do you like Michael Gove?
I think he looked like that Churchill dog off the back. Maybe he's been watching too much of Nicola Sturgeon. Have you seen... Actually, she goes like that. She'll headbutt everybody.
She
like
does
that.
headbutt?
She does. Headbutt.
But to be fair, she is Scottish. Yeah. Right, OK, anyway, so our next video features Amber Heard, OK, an actress who you probably wouldn't have heard of, frankly, if she hadn't got married to Johnny Depp. Heard and Depp are currently embroiled in a rather messy court case. It's fair to say it is indeed rather messy. And this clip caught my eye the other day. So, for the benefit of those listening on GB News Radio, Amber Heard put a tissue beneath her nose and then appears to sniff something in court. Now, Bobby, that was perfectly innocent, wasn't it? Nothing to see there.
Do my Johnny Depp impression, mate. And Amber Heard, she's shit in bed.
Right, OK.
That's what she said, though, isn't it?
All right, no, that's fair enough. Just apologies if you heard any bad language.
Are we not allowed to say that?
No, definitely not, no.
No, he said she sits in bed.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Good stuff. OK, all right. Well, look, just what I'd like to say, of course, hey, well, it's not exactly a family show here, let's be honest, but sorry if you...
I should have said crap, shouldn't I? It would have been better. No? Oh, God.
Potentially.
It just keeps going.
Potentially stop talking. Right, the final part of Patrick's hat trick, OK, is a cautionary tale for any young parents out there. Whatever you do, don't book a dinosaur to turn up at your kid's birthday party, because it won't end well. Check this out. That's my favourite clip. I absolutely love that. I think, you know, one guy's dad, clearly, one young person's dad has clearly rung out and gone, don't worry now, I've got a T-Rex coming, everything will be absolutely fine.
Unbelievable.
I mean, terrible. But to be fair, I mean, kids' birthday parties are just naff, aren't they, really?
But, I mean, that thing is terrifying.
I'm scared of that.
I mean, they were only about that big, weren't they? They were about 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah, the kids, it's not the T-Rex, no, that's for sure.
No, what happened is someone's dad's, you know, got all the gear and no idea.
Yeah.
He's gone, I'll come as my...
It's different, isn't it? It's different.
It's different. It's, let's be honest, they'll always remember that part.
And all children's parties are full of screaming kids.
Exactly, there you go.
Just a bit louder.
Just a little bit louder, exactly. Anyway, for those listening on radio, the children were absolutely terrified by the sight of a person dressed as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, who, I think, let's be honest, misjudged the situation. But anyway, right, next, I'll bring you some of this week's stranger stories in Round Your Parts. Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you've been swimming in North Somerset recently, for example, I've got some bad news for you, but I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, stay tuned.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's serious news, entertainment, or your own views from all over our great nation, we're here to kick off your day with a smile.
And the national media should be reflecting and reporting what's happening here.
You will notice the northwestern accents.
Whether you're with us on TV, radio, or online, every morning, it's breakfast from 6 a.m. Hope you can join us.
On radio, they call it the drive time slot, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. as listeners head home. It's that part of the schedule when the dust of the day's events begin to clarify, and we try to make sense of it for you. Brazier is drive time for radio and TV. It's fast, it's punchy, it's opinionated, there's a Brazier angle and a little bit of levity.
That's the question. That's 2 questions, actually.
That's Brazier, Monday to Thursday, 4 till 6 on GB News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debates, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr.
I'm Dan Wootton. Join me Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 for the feistiest and most fun news debate on TV, where free speech reigns. I'll bring you a sharp take on the day's biggest stories, bombshell newsmaker interviews, and A-list guests. And I guarantee you, no spin, no bias, no censorship, and no reason to go to bed. That's Dan Wootton tonight, Monday to Thursdays from 9 on GB News.
Right, welcome back, everybody. Now it's time for Round Your Parts, where we dig deep to find some absolute gems of local news. Local news is dying, so make the most of it while you can. And we start with an everyday tale of the anarchist grannies, really, who've been banned from a council meeting in Dorset. You'd just love to see it. So Giovanna Lewis and Annie Webster tried to glue themselves to a desk during a meeting last month as they protested about climate change. Well, the women call themselves the grannies from the future, yeah. But Dorset Council leader Spencer Flower, brilliant, branded them anarchists. So anarchic grannies, basically. So the protesters have been warned that the police basically could be called. Now, Bobby, that gives a different meaning to the term grab a granny night, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Or shingles night. They've changed those grab a granny nights to shingles night.
Exactly. I mean, but...
Gluing themselves to desks now. Why?
Have you ever protested? Have you ever been to a march?
Oh, I got a little bit upset with one lady. I didn't realise quite how old she is. And I said, let's go upstairs. It's quite attractive. Let's go upstairs and, make love. She said, I can't do both.
Okay,
then I glued it to the desk.
No, you didn't. Bobby. Andre, so, I mean, you've been involved in politics your whole life, right? Well, most of it anyway. I mean, this kind of stuff, actually, it's quite nice. It's almost direct democracy, isn't it?
Oh, I know we have a laugh on this show, but I have to say to you, I think it's grossly unfair to genuine protesters that these smelly, privileged, unwashed trust fund people decide that they're going to glue themselves to things. You know, it's not a protest to shout abuse at school children who want to go to a local
No, it
butcher.
isn't. That's
It's
true.
not a protest.
That's
It's just harassment.
What about that woman that couldn't get past her teacher on the way to hospital? That could kill people.
That's true. And this is the thing, one of them gave them a nudge with the car. Now, and she's been banned from driving, this woman.
Well, I remember when I worked at the House of Commons, there was this guy called Brian Hall. People will remember him. He was the anti-war protester, but he wasn't an anti-war protester. He stayed for 4 or 5 years, and I'll tell you what, by the end of it, because he was sleeping rough, obviously the mental health declined, he was shouting obscenities down the microphone to school children trying to visit the Palace of Westminster. I thought, get rid of him. It's not a protest.
Move him on.
Then 50 of his mates turned up and turned it into a peace camp on Parliament Square. Your protest is, you take your placard, you stand there, you shout for a couple of hours and go home.
Yeah,
that's a protest.
Swampy?
Yes, I do. The bloke, he super glued himself to... No, didn't he...
He tunnelled.
He tunnelled. That's right. I think they should have just tarmacked him over and used his eyes for, you know, like cat's eyes.
Like cat's eyes?
That's
Yeah,
exactly,
OK.
Swampy.
Interesting. I tell you what, the world according to Bobby Davro is, to be honest with you, not a bad place.
Where's that motorway where that bloke refused to sell his house and he just went down?
It's obviously in Yorkshire.
You can see it. Yeah, he's literally just sat in the middle.
He's got double glazing.
We've got loads to get through. Loads to get through here. So, some great news for you if you live in Edinburgh and if you're a dog owner who's looking for love. Yes, of course, because apparently, your pup could be the ultimate wingman as Tinder tries to help you find your perfect partner. So, get this, people. The dating app is introducing what it calls the Bark and Spark, the hair of the dog pub in the Scottish capital. You can see what they did there. Tinder say 29% of people have added a picture with a dog to their dating profile to improve their chances of success. I mean, this is interesting. Obviously, I'm in a loving relationship, of course, would never have needed to resort to using a dating app, anything like that. But, Andre, you're like the sort of bloke who does have to trawl through the internet to find love.
Can I just say to you, I warn you, Bobby Davro sat here, it's something related to dogs and love. We all know what he's going to say. We all know what he's going to say.
You didn't have to tee him up for it.
No, I'll tell you something. I've got a great story about this. I had a friend of mine who's running for Parliament, and he went to this meeting with Linton Crosby, you know, that great election guru who worked for David Cameron, and he said, listen, dog owners trust dog owners. Make sure you borrow X person's dog, because he's got it in the leaflets, it looks great.
Yeah.
My mate had just borrowed the dog, he couldn't stand it. But from then on, politicians were all advised, get a big dog. And sort
Yeah,
of
big
look.
dog. Yeah.
Dog owners trust dog owners.
Are you a dog lover?
Yes, I am. Yes. No. That gas man I was talking to, the one with no eyebrows, he had a relationship with a dog because he was corgi registered, you see.
Corgi registered, here he is. I'll tell you what,
I'd love a dog. I would love a dog. But I can't really because I can't look after them. I have to go to work and I'd have to leave it there.
I'm the same, mate. I'm the same. I just haven't got time for it because, you know, it's a shame. I mean, I'm here all the time, right? I'm just here, so I can't leave a dog in the flat, can I?
Could you bring your dog here?
I tried that once with somebody else's dog and it did not go well. Anyway, right, next we head to Huddersfield and the mysterious story of the green post boxes. So according to the Huddersfield Examiner, several Royal Mail pillar boxes have been painted bright apple green. Local shopkeeper, Zena Walker, said that she immediately reported it to the police as it's vandalism of the Queen's property. Apparently, there we go. Bobby, Zena also said that the incident was, of course, the talk of her shop. So is it fair to say that not much happens in Huddersfield?
Yeah, maybe. I don't understand why they would want to paint them green. I mean, what does that prove?
Might be some kind of eco message.
Oh, good no.
We had the gold one. So they've got, if your town has an Olympic gold
medalist,
they will paint one of your letterboxes gold.
We've got, in the town that I live in Windsor, we've got a blue letterbox, which was originally, they wanted internal mail to be red and air mail to be blue. It didn't last very long, but that one blue letterbox still continues. But I remember one of my mates, probably been on the show before, Andrew Rosdale, the MP for Romford.
Well, yeah,
he was really, really angry about the way that red letterboxes were not being painted by the Royal Mail. And him and some of his mates suggested they went out and painted it. And the Royal Mail said, not only are we not going to paint them, if you paint them, we'll do you for criminal damage.
No.
I mean, that's nonsense, isn't it?
Ridiculous. They're an iconically British thing, I think. But
I can't remember the last time I sent a letter, to be truthful with him.
To be fair, mate, I can't either.
It's all emails.
Although to be fair, what where letters have disappeared, the parcel service now is absolutely huge, and so there's still a lot.
Knockdown Ginger, that was it, wasn't it?
There we go.
Do you know something? You are as much fun as I was expecting you to be.
Honestly, also, can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, like, Bobby Davro, you're getting about 20% Bobby Davro here. What I'm getting in the breaks, right, is a lot more.
What makes me laugh is every time we go on the break, you go, shut up, we're coming back now, we're coming back now.
You won't stop talking, right? You won't stop talking, and it's not stuff that could ever go out on telly,
Well,
right?
of
So
course.
there we go. Right, finally.
It's not that bad.
It is. It's terrible. It's catastrophic. We'd all get sacked. Finally, this week.
The new Des O'Connor.
We head to North Somerset, Bobby. We head to North Somerset. And apologies to anyone who's eating at the moment, but the headline for this story on the local newspaper website is Somerset swimming pool closed after diarrhea incident. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, yes, it's every swimmer's worst nightmare, isn't it? The first sentence in the article on the Somerset Live website states that the pool was forced to close after someone did a poo in it. And that's a quote. That's literally a quote. They didn't even try and type that up, for want of a better phrase. At the time, though, the owners of the swimming pool said that they'd closed it, quote, due to an incident beyond their control.
Which is true.
Which is true, to be fair. Get this, though, they didn't actually drain the water from the swimming pool. Instead, they increased the chlorine levels to keep it clean and kill off any remaining germs.
And kids as well, that's too much chlorine.
Although, to be fair, that's what you've just said. That's the way you imagine a swimming pool working is not the way a swimming pool works. What happens is it overflows to take residue away, and that's what those little side things are. So what they've not done is mixed it up and thrown chlorine.
No,
in.
well,
Right?
they put chemicals in now for the people that have a wee-wee problem, and it changes women that urinate in the pool. It turns blue, and when the man does that, because of the hormones and stuff, turns red.
Do you remember that great...
That's a true fact, that. I remember my local swimming bars, we were up and down there like the red arrows. Do you
remember that? Do you remember that great story about that soldier who had been taking some steroids, but he didn't want the army to know, so he was doing a urine sample. They called him in and they said, "Congratulations, Private Jones, you've passed your urine test and you're also pregnant."
And you're also pregnant.
And he went,
There you go.
Have you ever had an accident in a swimming pool? I got chucked out of a pool for weeing in it once, off the top diving board. I mean, I wasn't. But no, seriously, have you ever had...
When you were little... When you're a little boy, right?
No, but...
the little pool was suspiciously warm, wasn't it?
Stay away from the yellow...
No, but, I feel a bit for this person, because we had... You know what school's like, right? I mean, you can get absolutely crucified for nothing, really, made-up stuff, right? But there was a lad who did, have an accident in our swimming pool, and he never lived it down.
But was it water or bread?
Yeah, well, it was brown.
Oh, good God. I mean, that's not acceptable.
OK, right, now, it's time for this. Postperson Pat, yes, just the right side of copyright law. Anyway, you've been responding to my comments at the start of the show about Rebecca Vardy, her disparaging comment about Peter Andre. And is there a name on this? No, I don't think there is. Oh, I can't see it anyway. Patrick May, you're body-shaming yourself with your diet. I'm certainly not. I'll tell you what, I'm desperately trying to keep hold of my missus. Anyway, right, we talked earlier about Peter rewriting some famous nursery rhymes to make them compassionate towards animals. And this one was from Susan Harris. It's not the Sue Harris, is it? It's the nice Sue Harris, good. So basically, anyway, I'll read this out, then I'll explain. I've never heard anything so ridiculous that our traditional nursery rhymes have a detrimental effect on children. Now, regular viewers of this show will know that this show's like a family. But like every family, there's always someone dodgy. And that person is Sue Harris. Now, it's not this Sue Harris, this is Susan Harris, a nice one. But the other Sue Harris emails me every single day to tell me that I'm fat and ugly and swears at me. And we're going to find you, Sue. We will find you. But anyway, that was the nice Sue Harris. Anyway, thank you very much, nice Sue. Anyway, Carol has tweeted us about the same topic. It says, Pop the Weasel is about drinking and pawning possessions. My dad used to sing it all the time. That's a window into my future. Goodness gracious me, yes. But there we go. The bad news is that there's only one part left in the Friday night feast right now. But the good news is there's still lots more to come before 9 o'clock. So we're going to try and rehome a rescue dog in Dog of the Week. We'll meet this week's National Treasure and find out if I can fool the public with a fake news story. Spoiler alert, I absolutely did. See you in 2 minutes.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's serious news, entertainment, or your own views from all over our great nation, we're here to kick off your day with a smile.
And the national media should be reflecting and reporting what's happening here.
You will notice the northwestern accents.
whether you're with us on TV, radio, or online every morning. It's breakfast from 6 a.m. Hope you can join us.
On radio, they call it the drive time slot, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. as listeners head home. It's that part of the schedule when the dust of the day's events begin to clarify, and we try to make sense of it for you. Brazier is drive time for radio and TV. It's fast, it's punchy, it's opinionated, there's a Brazier angle, and a little bit of levity.
That's the question. That's two questions, actually.
That's Brazier, Monday to Thursday, 4 till 6 on GB News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debates, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Jubes and Kerr.
I'm Dan Wootton. Join me Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 for the feistiest and most fun news debate on TV, where free speech reigns. I'll bring you a sharp take on the day's biggest stories, bombshell newsmaker interviews, and A-list guests. And I guarantee you, no spin, no bias, no censorship, and no reason to go to bed. That's Dan Wootton tonight, Monday to Thursdays from 9 on GB News.
Welcome back to Friday Night Feast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can I just say something really quickly? Thank you so much. I've just had a little update fed through to me in my ear that we've managed to already raise more than £10,000 for the charity Mind. And we're doing it, of course, for me to, well, lose weight, perform on stage with the Dream Boys, but also to support the absolute legend that is Nathan Dunn, who's walking barefoot, OK, from John O'Groats to Land's End, setting a world record in the process to make a bit of noise about mental health. Male mental health, really. It's not all about men, of course it's not. But suicide is the single biggest killer of men under the age of 45, and I will not stop banging on about this, OK? Every single day, 12 men take their own lives. And frankly, to be honest with you, if Chris Whitty did that on his little slideshows every single day, then we'd realise there really was a pandemic out there, wouldn't we? So I'm just asking you very politely if it's OK. I know we're all a bit skint at the minute. I know that there's a lot going on in the world, OK? But if you just have a few quid, please go to justgiving.com/fundraising/challenge Christys. That's justgiving.com/fundraising/challenge Christys. We've managed to get more than a grand in a day here, and it's because of people like you. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. The GB News viewers are the best people in the world, and you're proving it right now. So if you can do it, please, justgiving.com/fundraising/challenge Christys. But, OK, look, we'll move on, OK? So, now, it's time for Patrick's fake news. That's right, so I make up a story and see if the great British public will actually fall for it. And here's what happened. All right, people, it's Friday the 13th, which is supposed to be the most kind of unlucky day in the world, isn't it? So I thought, for today's fake news, I'd just tell people the world's going to end. So NASA have released a statement saying that they think, anyway, there's a good chance there's an asteroid going to hit Earth in about 103 years' time, right? And that unless we, frankly, do, it's on a course for us, right? How do you feel about that?
I'm not alarmed, really, because I shan't be alive in 103 years' time.
You don't care.
But on the other hand, I would trust the scientists. I mean, I would have thought astronauts coming actually back and hitting the Earth are fairly remote.
I'll be probably dead.
So you don't care?
No, I care. I care for my next generation, but
well, there won't be one.
Just hope for the best. Why you worry about what's coming next?
Hard to say, really. I'm not going to be alive when it happens, but you've obviously, I would imagine technology by then might come up with a solution.
You'd back us, basically. You think we'll do it?
Possibly. Depends how big the asteroid is, doesn't it?
Do you care?
No.
Why not?
I won't be around. My kids won't be around.
103 years, give them a chance.
Yeah, no, my kids are older.
OK, fair enough.
Yeah.
So let the world burn.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Is that ruined your day, that, is it?
Well, it made me a little bit upset now.
OK.
Not gonna lie.
OK, all right.
Well, yeah,
all right.
Interesting question.
OK, I've got to be honest with you, it's not true. OK, don't worry. Sorry, I couldn't let you go. I'm so sorry, I couldn't let you go away. Well, Well, goodness gracious me. You see, the thing is that normally with this kind of stuff, I like to correct the British public afterwards. So I'll say to them, look, you know, hey, don't worry, you know, aliens haven't really landed or this, that and the other. But I decided with this one deliberately to not tell them. So as it currently stands, there are at least 10 or 15 members of the British public who are adamant that the world's about to end in 103 years' time. Not sorry. Anyway, Andre, would you have fallen for that?
No.
Right. Fair enough.
Sorry, I don't know what more do you want me to say? I mean, it's funny, though, isn't it? Because do you remember that TV show, The Word, from the 1990s?
Yes.
I would do anything to get on...
Terry Christian, was it?
Terry Christyan, all right, that's great.
Do you know something? Every single person from Manchester has been out on the lash with Terry Christyan. You must
Not surprised. He's probably out on the lash right now.
Well, he has been since about 1985.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, he's never come home.
But there was that bit where they do, I would do anything to get on TV. And sometimes you just feel as if you stick a camera in somebody's face and say something, they'll just get on with it.
Wasn't one of them that they had to lick a tramp's foot?
Yeah, there was one where you had to snog an old lady. And my favourite thing...
Nothing wrong with it?
The words... My favourite one was where they had maggot racing and the loser got eaten.
Oh, that's grim. What would you do, right, family show, what would you do if you knew the world was going to end imminently?
I said that to my my friend. I said, what would you do if you had one day to live?
Yeah.
And you know what he said? He said he'd have a rumpy pumpy with anything that moved.
Right.
I've cleaned that up. Did you notice how clean that was?
You did. Well done. Don't ruin it now.
Yeah, he said, I'd have a rumpy pumpy with anything that moved. And he asked me, he said, what would you do? And I looked at him, I said, I'll stand still.
Oh, he's on absolute
Does it still
fire.
work? Does it still work when you've cleaned it up?
It still works. Right, OK, so it's time now to meet our national treasure. So, again, regular viewers will know that what we do is we like to highlight just an ordinary man or woman, really, every single week who we think really deserves a bit of praise, who's the best of British, right? So not your usual ones, you know, these people that, you know, I don't know, a lollipop lady who's not taken a day off in 50 years, this kind of stuff. But anyway, this is a really special one. So this week, we're paying tribute to the two people who run the greatest, get this, bed and breakfast in the world. That's right, James and Angela Rusden own Toulson Court in Scarborough, sunny Scarborough, that's right. And they came out on top in the Best of the Best Awards for hotels for the second year in a row. And I'm delighted to say that James and Angela join me right now. Hey, we always clap you in. Let's do it. Well done. You are the national treasure. Fantastic stuff. So, what's so good about your B&B?
It's down to the service we give and what Scarborough has to offer. Lovely Scarbados weather, just like being in the Caribbean. And it's a service that we offer and what we offer. We do say we are just an ordinary everyday B&B in Scarborough, £85 a night, bed and breakfast. And you've got us as hosting, trying to make the best of your holiday, give you everything that you want.
I mean, this is amazing. So you must be absolutely over the moon. And what an absolute treat it is, the fact that we are lucky enough in Scarborough, in this fair isle that we call home, to have the best B&B in the world. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Absolutely blown away. You know, we are just a normal house on a normal street and just two normal people that love what we do. Get up every morning, cook breakfast, sing songs, have a laugh, and just make the most of life, really.
Oh, you know what? This is actually a really heartwarming story. I really kind of want to come and stay, actually. Can I ask, what's on your breakfast menu? Go on, Angela, you tell me.
I was going to say, if you're going to come and stay, bring Bobby Davro with you.
Bring Bobby Davro! Yeah.
Sorry, what about?
I mean, I've got Andre Walker here as well, you know, I mean... Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure Bobby Davro will be up there. You're touring in Scarborough anytime soon, Bobby?
I used to do lots of summer seasons up in Scarborough. I don't know if you ever came to see me, did you guys? I used to come up there and I'd stayed in a few bed and breakfasts over the years. Stayed in one once, it was a bit small. I put the key in the door and broke the window, but, you know, but if you get a good breakfast... And that's the most important thing. And the beds, you've got to have nice beds.
Come on, Bobby. Go to Scarborough for this charity, right?
Here we go.
We'll sell 20 quid a ticket. That's to not come.
All right. Just want to get back to you guys now. Look, it's actually hard work. I mean, look, I wouldn't know. I've never done it, but it looks like hard work running a B&B. You've got to be up early doors. You've got to look after people. The customer's always right, of course, even when they're not. But you guys seem to absolutely love it, James.
Yeah, we do, and that's it. We love what we do, and we love the people. They're like family after they've been a few times. And just on a footnote, you're going on about Mental Health Week. I had a mental breakdown because I've got 2 brain aneurysms, and I've picked myself up in this business through song. I sing, and that's brought me out of my black past, really, moving forward and enjoying myself and enjoying life and making everybody happy. And that's what we're about. When people come, we want them to be happy and enjoy what we have to offer and go out what Scarborough has to offer.
Well, you know, if you don't mind, James, could you give us a bit of a tune? You don't have to. I don't want to put you under pressure, but I mean, it'd be...
I'll give you the key.
Do you carry around a harmonica?
I happen to have one in my pocket, yeah. Any effing key.
Yeah, good lad.
I've never eaten magic mushrooms.
Right, lads, rein it in.
If you go to their bed and breakfast.
Rein it in. OK, James, sorry, I didn't hear what you said there. We're not getting a tune out of you, are we?
I don't think you'd want to.
That's all right, mate. No, but can I just say, though, James and Angela, it looks to me anyway, it seems to me as though you two are just like the perfect couple, really. You look really happy together. You look really great together. You clearly love what you do. You work together as well. And you can just see it shining out of you both. And it's an absolute pleasure to see that. And congratulations, guys, all right? You are this week's National Treasures. Well done. Good stuff.
Gig up there, I'll come and stay there.
There you see, Bobby Davro said if he does do a gig there, he'll come and stay with you. So there we go. We just need to organise it now. So good lads. All right, OK, so it's time now, I believe, anyway, for Dog of the Week, or at least we're going to go to it very, very shortly anyway. But we are going to be highlighting, of course, some of the brilliant dogs who, through no fault of their own, end up in rescue centres across the UK. And this evening, obviously, we are going to be asking for a forever home for Aurora. We're going to go to Aurora shortly, though, OK, because Aurora's a bit camera shy at the minute, which you can understand. It's a big show, massive show. But look, I mean, I thought that was quite...
Can I say
yes,
something
you can.
to you? Can I say something to you? Because I grew up in bed and breakfast hotels. My grandmother owned the Del May, which was a hotel on Western Road in Morecambe. Lots of people will know where the Shearings coach station was.
Yeah.
No, in the 1970s and 80s, it was an excellent place to go to. Well, you will remember Morecambe when it was at the peak, the Winter Gardens and all that sort of thing.
I have. I played that
but I spent a lot of time... Look, being the greatest B&B in the world is almost like the Super Bowl. There's not that many B&Bs. There's not that many B&Bs outside the United Kingdom.
When you go to Blackpool, the Blackpool was made up.
Because it's a very British tradition.
Yeah.
But it is a great British tradition that is coming back to life.
It is.
A lot of those places in Morecambe closed, but now right across the country, B&Bs are coming back, and I think it's a great thing because it's family, service, and it's the personal touch.
You said it, family. That's the...
Absolutely.
It is, and it is something quite British, and I like that. And look, to be honest with you, right, if the breakfast is nice, that's a good touch, of course.
If you like your breakfast.
If you like your breakfast, but I just like the thing of it. You feel like you're in someone's home, don't you? It's a very British thing, I think. Very British thing. Right, OK, the dog's about. OK, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for is Dog of the Week time. That's right. OK, so this is where we highlight a dog. We're trying to rehome a rescue dog. As far as I understand it, so far, none of you heartless ladies and gentlemen have actually bothered to rehome one of our rescue dogs yet, but we will get there eventually and we'll make a massive deal out of it when we do. Anyway, has anyone got a forever home for Aurora? Let's have a look at Aurora. Oh, my good gosh. So, Aurora was rescued from Romania by the good people at Poor Prince to Freedom, and she's just 7 months old. Hey, I think we've got a chance with this one, lads. I think we've got a chance with this one.
Beautiful.
As those of you watching on your TV and YouTube channels, on our TV and YouTube channels, she's already quite a big girl, to be fair. You're not allowed to call them that these days. Anyway, to find out more about Aurora, I'm delighted to say that I'm now joined by Nina Hasbury from Poor Prince to Freedom. Nina, look, thank you so, so much. Great stuff. Honestly, you should have seen... Here you go, Bobby. You should have seen, right, our newsreader there, Polly, when Aurora's face came up on the camera, the audible scream that came out, a scream of joy. Goodness gracious me, how has she not got a home?
I don't know. I absolutely don't know. She's gorgeous, isn't she? Like she's a real superstar, and only 7 months old as well. She's really, really, she's such Oh my God, look at that face. Look at that face. She's just lovely.
Yeah, by the way, sorry, if you're listening on radio, can you just describe, I mean, roughly her breed? She looks like a very small German Shepherd.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
She looks small in that picture. She's not. I mean, for 7 months old, she's already about 18 kilos. So yeah, she's definitely not going to be a small girl. But she's lovely. She's really sweet. She's been around cats, so that's obviously a winner for a lot of people. Everybody seems to have cats nowadays. So yeah, she could go with children. She's very playful, as you can see. She would benefit from another doggy friend, I think. She can be. She loves to play with her doggy friends.
Nina. This is ticking all the boxes. Nina, this is ticking all the boxes. We've got a young dog, and I hate to say it, of course, but look, people do tend to prefer to, house a young dog, which you can understand. We've got a dog that wants to be with another dog, right? Because normally it's very much like, don't you dare let this thing around kids or other animals, and you can't take it on a walk. It'll dig your way out of it. It'll dig its way out of your garden, and don't try and take its food off it because it'll rip your face off. Whereas actually, this particular dog, I think, is a real goer. Ladies and gentlemen at home, please, for the love of God, please rescue one of these dogs that we're trying to give away. But seriously though, so she's going to be fine on a walk, for example. She's going to be good on a walk.
Yeah, she does go on a lead at the minute. She goes out on walks. She needs a little bit more lead training. She's not the best at the minute, but she will wear a lead and she'll wear a collar and everything. So yeah, she just, like any puppies really, she just needs to be shown the way. But yeah, she loves it. She loves being out and about.
Okay, right, and look, as any young dog will be, bit bouncy, bit springy, very, very energetic, but you think really she's got a great nature. Presumably you'd be pretty comfortable saying that she'd probably be all right with kids or something like that, would you?
Yeah, I would probably say, because of her size, I would definitely say older children, so maybe 8 plus. Okay. Because like you said, puppies, they can be a bit jumpy, jump up and everything. So yeah, probably 8 plus, I would say.
Guard dog, good guard dog.
Good guard. I tell you what, she could eat. Yes, good. Bobby Davro's on it.
Well,
yes.
no, I did have one of them guard dogs, but it was lousy. I had a lockdown because it let everybody in. It did. It let everybody. It was a UK border collie.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Bobby Davro, ladies and gentlemen, good stuff. Okay, Paw Prints to Freedom. Paw Prints to Freedom, Nina. Where are you based? Yeah. How can people get in touch? Your phone's going to be ringing off the hook here.
I hope so. So we're based online, so it's www.pawprintstofreedom.co.uk. We also have Paw Prints to Freedom Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well.
Lovely stuff. All right, well, look, thank you so much for coming on the show, giving up quite a large chunk of your Friday evening, but just doing tremendous work. Again, if you are listening to us on radio, can I just urge you, right, when you go home, when you pull over the car or whatever you're doing at the minute, OK, please, just go and have a look at our YouTube feed or rewind your telly or whatever you want to do, because you are not going to want to miss Aurora's absolutely wonderful face. Look, thank you so much, Nina, and well done to everybody at Paw Prints for Freedom who are doing their best to help rescue dogs. So well done. Yeah, well, good. We've had lots of round of applause. Lovely stuff. Love to see it. We've done the dog chat, haven't we? You guys don't have dogs.
Do you know, there is one thing. I'm spending a lot of time helping out in Ukraine, which is incredibly important. Now, there's one thing that people forget. The amount of animals that have been... Now, they're not going to come to the UK, but there is a knock-on effect.
There is. We've had an offer. We've had an offer on Aurora, ladies and gentlemen. Paul's been in touch. He says, I'll take the dog tomorrow. I've got a 4-year-old bullhound. I don't know what that is, but there we go. Perfect friend. So please sort Patrick. Paul... I'll get in touch, all right? And also, it's all very well and good to rescind the offer later if you decide that you don't want to on a Saturday morning. We've all been there, mate. But there we go. Right, now, a reminder that here at GB News, we're raising money for the mental health charity Mind. Now, I'm on course to lose 1.5... I actually really, genuinely am on course to lose 1.5 stone. I've lost £12. Right, anyway, before I dance with the Dream Boys, male strippers, classic, on Friday, June the 24th. So there we go. It's in Epsom. The date's out there now, people. And Bobby Davro and Andre Walker, this is the only way this could have got more mental, have booked their tickets.
Yes, we have. Yeah, what we decided was...
This is insane.
We decided we didn't want front row because we wanted to see it, not smell it.
Good grief, that's right.
Have my eye taken out. When it turns around...
It's getting better for me. It's getting much better for me now. Thank you very much.
You have got some... It looks like you've had liposuction and left it on blow the last time I saw it. You have lost a bit of weight.
Although the #1 search thing on Google for Patrick Christys is Patrick Christys married?
Is it?
Is it
really?
It is.
Gosh, well, there we go. That's a window into the future, potentially, but I have to find someone stupid enough first. But anyway, we've crossed
with bad eyesight.
And with bad eyesight, bad eyesight and no hearing. Anyway, yes. We've crossed through the £10,000 barrier this evening, so well done, everybody. Well done, everybody. So, you lovely people, when we came on air, we were on £9,800. We're now on £10,200. So, thank you very, very much, everybody. You lot are all absolute legends. So, yes, that's right. Just a few moments ago, the total was at £10,241. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can, I'm rattling the can again here, OK? And I'm not ashamed to do it because it's for mental health and we're in the middle of a crisis with that. And let's please try and save some lives if we can. Donate at justgiving.com/fundraising/Challenge Christys. Now, every penny that we raise will help someone who is struggling with mental health problems. There's something weird that goes on, I think, with a lot of blokes where, for whatever reason it is, for whatever pressure society gives you or anything like that, we find it very, very hard, I think, to discuss our mental health. And that is why, unfortunately, I'll say it again, suicide is the single biggest killer of men under the age of 45.
Is that the truth? I never realised.
Yeah, it's true. Every day, 12 men kill themselves. OK, all right, look, justgiving.com/fundraising/Challenge Christys, if you can, people. All right, OK. Gosh, where's this show gone? Has anyone got a taxi for Christys?
Taxi for Christys.
Oh, my goodness me. I think this one's been my favourite one yet. But anyway, right, my taxi is waiting for me just outside. We've not got you last one. We can't afford it. I haven't got the budget. But there's just enough time for me to tell you that, of course, this was the week when Ukrainian footballer Vitaly Mykolenko showed what he thought of Vladimir Putin. There you go, fantastic stuff. Yes, that's him kicking Putin's head in. Anyway, staying with football, and at the Wagatha Christie libel trial, the courtroom artist clearly had it in for Wayne Rooney. They've made him... This is brilliant.
Oh, it's super.
Oh, fantastic.
Looks like that bloke off the Goonies. He looks
like he does. All right, rein it in. And GBNews political editor Darren McCaffrey joined in the world's naked gardening day. There we go. Thank goodness it was gardening day and not hardening day. There we go. Of course, just to confirm, by the way, that was not really Darren McCaffrey in all his glory. But look, please get in touch if you've got an idea of Challenge Christys. I've got some great ones booked in the next few weeks. I want to hear from you. For some reason, my production team would like to see me try my hand, for example, at lion taming. I can't possibly think why. But email me, patrick@gbnews.uk. Hey, people, I hope you have an absolutely cracking weekend, a cracking Friday now. I'll be back at 10 a.m. on Monday with To The Point. And up next, of course, is the brilliant Mark Dolan. Love you all very much. Take it easy.
Well done. Love you.
Hello again, I'm Aidan McGiven from the Met Office. Winds in the north ease overnight, cloud clears, and then for most, it's a sunny Saturday and it will feel warm as well as high pressure builds from the south, pushing the weather fronts that have plagued the far north during Friday, pushing those out of the way, and the isobars begin to open up as well. And so by Friday evening, actually, the winds are easing.